but really listening without judgment, listening with curiosity, listening with even to be able to say, wow, tell me more, makes the other person feel really heard, really valued, really seen. And that's a lot of what connecting is about. It's just about being able to put our walls down, open our hearts, and feel safe to be who we are, how we are. Hello, delicious people. Allana Pratt here, intimacy expert. We are by, you can sort of just see it right there, a little bit, Lewis Lake, way up high, almost 9,000 feet in Wyoming. Got myself a little cabin for a night and shooting these videos until my phone dies because there's no electricity and or Wi-Fi. I will upload these to my wonderful editor once I get back. But what a wonderful day, hey, to be able to be with you. And so your question is about how to reconnect with your partner. And I'm assuming it's probably after a fight or after a dry spell or just after maybe even a busy week of not being together. So if it's just a simple reconnection after having a busy week, I always, and I'm out here in nature for this very reason, I think going for a walk, holding hands and getting back into your bodies and out of your head is a really good plan for reconnecting. Just saying, hey babe, let's just go for a walk. Sunrise and sunset to me are very, very powerful times of the day where life is a little quieter. And okay, that's one of the biggest robins I've ever seen. It's almost the size of like a hawk. It's such a big robin. We're going to go walk towards this beautiful robin. So just asking to hold hands and go for a walk. And then saying something like, so tell me something you want to tell me. And then just say thank you. And then switch and have the other person say, well, tell me something you want to tell me. And do more. Know that the powerful position is one of listening, not so much, well, talking, obviously, communicating is lovely. But really listening without judgment, listening with curiosity, listening with even to be able to say, wow, tell me more, makes the other person feel really heard, really valued, really seen. And that's a lot of what connecting is about. It's just about being able to put our walls down, open our hearts, and feel safe to be who we are, how we are. So that's a wonderful way to connect. A way to connect after like a wobble, a squabble, a fight is obviously a little harder, and nobody wants to go first, and maybe one of you is better than at going first than the other, and that's not fair, and life isn't fair, and welcome to life. But be willing to reach out that hand and just put it on the small of their back. Be willing just to show up for a hug. Be willing to put things in a sandwich. It's like a communication style I learned actually at Toastmasters, where the first thing you say is something of gratitude, something of acknowledgement, something that reminds us we're on the same page. Like, wow, I'm really grateful for our relationship. I'm really grateful that we find our way back to one another. I'm really grateful that we can move through conflicts and open our hearts again. Something like that. Whatever's true for you. And then the reconnection would be something that you sort of have a good track record that works for you. Hey, Ed, you want to make dinner together? Hey, do you want to go see another, maybe your favorite kind of movie? Hey, I ran us a bath. Would you like to join me? Just something that you know is a happy place for both of you, has positive memories for both of you, is a place where it's nourishing for both of you to connect. We all have our different love languages, and we all have our different apology languages too. There's actually a great podcast with Dr. Thomas on my Intimate Conversations podcast. You can learn about the 4 styles of apology as well. Just like there's, the 5 love languages, there's 5 apology languages as well. So maybe there's a way to reconnect again that you said you were sorry, but it didn't land with them. There's a way of saying sorry that they need to hear. And you could even ask. A way of reconnecting is like, hey, I still feel there's maybe like a little divide between us. And I'm wondering if my apology really landed, if it really nourished you. Is there something I could be or do or say different that would make you feel really acknowledged in what went down? And see what they have to say. Because some people want touch with the apology. Some people want you to be able to say, I was wrong. I was wrong and I'm sorry. Some people want to know that you're not just going to say I'm sorry and then just go and do it again. They want to know that you're, and I've taken action to grow and change in this regard. They want to know that you're going to be different. It's not going to happen again. So anyways, have a listen to that podcast or buy her book that she wrote with Gary Chapman about apologies. So another way to reconnect is to not be sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit, but to really still, if there's still an elephant in the living room, address it. And it could be the form of apology. Not that I ever want you to spiritual bypass, but sometimes just being dorky and silly and lighthearted, almost acting as if until you kind of get with the program, that it's not going to be authentic or comfortable for a few breaths, for a few minutes, or maybe even for an hour, but just doing something a little silly just to break the ice, to reconnect again, can be very, very helpful. Not to say that what went down isn't important, not to say that growth and evolution isn't important, but just to bring some levity to the situation. Like, this is so not classy, but like just go over and like fart in their face or something, like just something to break up the energy, and to remember we're all human and we're going to make mistakes all the time, and that's okay, and we can still grow and come back together again. And then lastly, if you're having trouble reconnecting, you can also ask for a third party to support you, like myself, like one of my coaches. We have couples and singles in our group coaching programs, at our retreats, etc. And it's really good sometimes to have a third person say, so what do you appreciate about Joanne? You got to friggin' answer the question. And Joanne, what do you appreciate about George? And then all of a sudden your hearts are open. And George or Joanne, whatever, tell me one thing you guys really align on. And then you have to answer because I asked. And then the other person answers. And all of a sudden we've got alignment and affinity. And then I'm like, tell me something that you really are just so impressed with that Joanne did this last week that really made a difference in your life. Friggin', you have to find it. And then you have to say it. And then she has to receive it. And the connection happens deeper. And then it goes back again. Literally within 10 minutes of coaching calls, I can get people really reconnected, hearts open. And now we're getting down to the real nitty gritty of creating new pathways, new neural pathways, but also new pathways of communicating and new ways of being together. And now you can start creating an aligned vision and moving forward. So sometimes a third party is really wonderful. And on a regular basis, knowing that you've got that safe haven, that sanctuary to have a private session with or a couples session with, because that's what I do. When I work with couples, I work with him, with her, and then together. With him, with her, together, or her, him, whatever. Because as fun as it is to blame the other person, it's never the other person. They are you. You are them. We are one. They're just there to flush up shit, unprocessed, unhealed wounds inside of us so that we can be our best self. They're really our master spiritual teacher. And having a third person to remind us of that, which is why I have several coaches that remind me of that. I do the same work that I ask my clients to do. So those are some ways that you can reconnect. We actually have a wonderful couples curriculum and a singles curriculum called Heartmates. We believe that instead of from empty, trying to find the one, that doesn't work very well. But from full, from having become the one, we can attract an incredibly aligned partner because we've become aligned with ourselves. And then once we've found that partner, that there are skills, communication skills, ways of being, and still continued ways of taking care of ourselves that allows us to show up from fullness, not emptiness, and invite the best out of our partner, literally awaken dormant evolutionary qualities within our partner so that it's not just one and one is two. It's like one and one is infinity, that you're literally better together for yourself, for your marriage, for your family, and for the world. Because yeah, spreading more love in this world is a good thing. So if we can help you at all, heartmates.app is where you can learn about Heartmates, the programs. AllanaPratt.com. You can learn more about all the different ways we can support you. I don't know when you'll see this video, but we have a wonderful masterclass coming up as well, complimentary, where I dive deep into a lot of different ways of being that will support your relationships. And bottom line, I think this is the bottom line I want to leave you with. If you really want to reconnect with your partner, but you're not reconnected with yourself, it's not going to go well. So where in yourself could you be more compassionate, more empathetic, slow down, feel, come home, let go of judgment, let go of criticism, be brave, courageous, open your heart, tell the truth to yourself, and then bring that open-hearted, unapologetic, kind, brave self to your partnership. That's going to probably be the most effective way of reconnecting. Connect with self and then connect with other. Yeah. Love you, love you, love you.